Okay, the next one also doesn't need a big introduction. She's a petite lady, but with a huge heart. I'm looking at her. Anu Singh. She knew I was talking about her. Anu is a very dear friend and a neighbor of ours. She is a very active community member, brings a lot of energy and passion to everything she does. And a lot of you may not know this, but she's also extremely energetic because she ran the 100-mile, which I can't even imagine somebody of her size doing that. But you did, didn't you? Yeah. So it's an honor to have her here. And Anu?
So a couple of months ago, I was at a party, and I was talking to a friend of mine. And he said to me, you know what, Anu, I think I'm going to move to Saratoga. And I was kind of a little taken aback. I've been in Saratoga for 15 years, and this friend of mine was in Los Altos for 15 years. And I was really surprised that he wanted to all of a sudden move from Los Altos, which is a beautiful place, to Saratoga. So I said, what's up with you? What's going on? And he said, you know what? I don't know, but in these past few years, I'm hearing that Saratoga is a happening place. I mean, and he says, there are all these parties, there's a great sense of community, you guys all get together, you have a great time, you connect with one another. And I said, but there are parties in Los Altos, isn't there? I mean, what are you talking about? And then he said something which was really important. He says, no, I'm not talking about those parties where you guys invite each other to, small groups of people meet. He says, I'm hearing that in Saratoga you have these huge, all-inclusive parties. I mean, whether there's not one host, everyone can come, people can come and connect, meet new people. I mean, this is what a community, so there's a community, and so I want to move here. And then he looked at me and he says, well, what's up with Saratoga? What's going on? I mean, how is this happening? And I thought about it and I said, you know what's happening? Rishi Kumar and Seema Kumar moved a few years ago. And that's what happened to Saratoga. He and she brought the whole community together in a certain way that's indescribable in words, in the sense of everyone feels a sense of belonging. I think all of you guys here who are in Saratoga can vouch for that, and some of you who come from outside Saratoga can also vouch for that. I met Rishi some years ago, and we met on a football and soccer field, actually. But I got to know Rishi a little better when he was Susie Nagpal's campaign manager. Susie, a dear friend of mine, was very, very passionate. All of you know about how much she did for the community. And she, really have conversations about what was important to her and what really she wanted to see happen for Saratoga. And there were two important things that she always spoke about. The first thing I remember was she said she wanted to build a community in Saratoga that is caring, connected, and all-inclusive across. This is not just Indians. We're not talking just for Indians here. So she said, I want to be a city council member, not just for the Indian community, but for everyone. And the second thing she was concerned about, which we all who are here in Saratoga do concern ourselves with, is the revitalization of downtown. She really wanted downtown to be a great place for our youngsters to hang out during the summer break and not have to go all the way to Los Gatos or somewhere there. So a place for Saratogans to come together. So these were the two important issues, and this was Susie's vision. This was Susie's dreams. I must say this to you, that our wonderful Rishi Kumar here really embraced Susie's visions and dreams. And I've seen over the last few years that I have been fortunate to be a Saratoga resident, that he has taken Susie's dreams and visions and put them into action and really moved them forward. So let's talk about what he did in those two things. So I'll give you one example. How many of you have been to Blue Rock Shoot on those Friday evenings? Awesome. So I went with a whole bunch of friends one evening, and this is what I witnessed. I sat there and I saw, first and foremost, Rishi and Seema greet every single person who walked in by name. There was not one person there that they did not know and did not feel made to feel welcome. It was almost like we were walking into our own home. The whole thing about cheers, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, that's how I felt. I think everybody experienced that feeling. They both knew every single person who walked in there. Then I saw him just basically MC in the most remarkable way. Everybody got a chance, and only one chance to do what they had to do, and they had to wait their turn. So there was really an equal opportunity and an all-inclusive environment. I also saw him talk to this elderly lady who had come in there and say to her, look, if you can't sing, please share one of your poems with us. Do you remember that, Rishi? And sure enough, she stepped up and she started sharing a poem. So this was not just an Indian event. And I think I'm emphasizing that for many different reasons, because I saw Susie, really, really stress that this was how she wanted to see Saratoga, as a place where everyone could belong. And this is what Rishi was doing that evening. So there you have your all-inclusiveness. Then we step out and we talk about foot traffic, right, into downtown. This is how you revitalize Saratoga. And boy, Blue Rock Shoot was buzzing that day. Was it not buzzing? It was buzzing. There were people coming, there was business for Blue Rock Shoot, and I saw people and all over the place and all around downtown. And there were people that evening from Santa Clara, from Sunnyvale, from Fremont, from all over. Rishi had created an event where there was a sense of community and there was foot traffic. This is just one tiny example of how he took Susie's dreams and vision and moved it forward. So, here's the thing about what Ash Kalra was talking about, right? Everybody has these great dreams and visions, and Susie would have continued on. But some of us know this, that action is most important. So Tenzin Gyatso, the Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama, says the same thing. He says, it is not enough to have compassion, it is not enough to care. One must act. Here we have a standing example of that. I feel very, very fortunate to be in Saratoga for many, many different reasons. One of the chief reasons is that we have Rishi Kumar and Seema Kumar in this community. Rishi Kumar, who has really, really worked hard to preserve and retain and grow what we all really have valued about being here in Saratoga. And with him as our leader, I am telling you this, we can all look forward to wondrous things to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu. That was wonderful. Okay, so we'll move on. The next person, it's a great pleasure for me again to introduce Jim Bell from San Jose. Jim, it's an honor to have you here at our home. Jim is one of the, what I would say, original residents of San Jose. He has lived his entire life in San Jose. Am I correct, Jim? See, so it's as good as they come. Jim has a long, list of accomplishments and credentials and wonderful qualities. So I'll just go through some of them. I hope I can do justice. Jim has been a City Planning Commission at the age of 24. He was elected to the City Council at the age of 28. I think that's the youngest ever. And he was elected to Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors in '94, elected to California State Assembly in 2006, elected to California State Senate in 2012, and he has devoted his entire life helping the communities and especially focusing on public education as one of his top priorities. It's again an honor to have him here. I can go on. He has launched country's children's health. He has served on Metropolitan Transportation Commission. He has championed traffic improvement projects, so on and so forth. So you can see a man who's truly committed to making life a whole lot better for a whole lot of people. So Jim, thank you for being here, and here you are.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. When you look at who you want to be on your city council, you want somebody that's already got proven credentials in the community, but also somebody that pays attention to people, including the young people, and including the seniors. You want somebody that pays attention to the people that don't normally speak up. You also want somebody that has a strong family that backs them. That's very important. If you have, I've been married to my wife 31 years, Pat, and we have a lot of rules. So Rishi, when you get elected, you're going to have some rules with Seema. Okay? She's going to be the first lady of Saratoga. eventually when the city council has a election for mayor and they rotate the mayor every year. So eventually you'll be mayor and she'll be the first lady. So I think it's very important to have a strong family. When you have a council member, it's also important to have somebody that does his homework, because there's a lot of items on different subjects on the agenda, and you have to be prepared to understand and discern the right decision on each one of those varying different items, ranging from youth items to land use to economic development to the city budget to telling the state government, me, what to do. So I think when you elect a city council member, you have to have somebody that's prepared to step up into that job. And I am very supportive of Rishi because he has all those criteria. He knows this community. He listens to all people in this community. He's prepared. He's put a lot of energy into making this community a better place. And I think he'll do an excellent job being a leader, not only for you, but for his colleagues on the city council, and leading them into the right direction that we need to take in this community. So I'm urging everybody and all my supporters that I have in Saratoga and other places to support him. I think he will be an excellent council member. I fully endorse him to get elected to the city council. And I also believe that he follows up with the legacy of Susie, who met all those criteria and more, and her passion and beliefs, and she met all those criteria and more. And I think if you want to have somebody to follow up with that kind of legacy, Rishi's going to do a great job doing that. So thank you very much, Rishi, for volunteering to do this. And Seema, thank you for letting him do it. And we're gonna have a lot of fun working together. That's the way I look at it. You got to have fun when you do these jobs. You can't get too stressed. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. Is there anybody else I have not been able to call yet who wants to say before I invite the main person here? Rishi, is anyone else there at this point, or should we move along? Okay. Then here comes the protagonist for the day. I don't need to introduce Rishi Kumar one more time, but I would like to say a few things about him, just to paint a little picture of him. He's really, he has been in Saratoga since 2001, I believe, so 13 years, going strong. And both Rishi and Seema have become wonderful friends for us. And what always caught my attention about Rishi is that not only he cares a lot about community, about people at a personal level, at the community level, and his list of engagements and accomplishments and communication through the email, we get a lot of that. And I'd rather have somebody who communicates as a leader and as a community leader than one who does not. So Rishi, keep them coming, okay? And I will not go through everything Rishi has been involved in, all the way from extracurricular activities, whether it's Saratoga Got Talent, to the union school districts, the extra day off issues, to the highway issues, to you name it. He gets involved at every level, micro level, macro level. He really does care. But the one quality which we need in him is the energy level, and that I'm very confident. Rishi has he's a bundle of energy. Reminds me of the what's that bunny rabbit who keeps on going?
Energizer bunny.
Energizer, yes. So Rishi is just in different colors, but he is the Energizer bunny here. It keeps on going and keeps us going. Okay, so I do hope you keep that up. And again, we do expect you to win and go to the city council and keep the momentum and make Saratoga as a better part of the area and a better part of the community for all of us. So here you are.
Firstly, I would like to thank Rama and Minnie Shukla for hosting us here in their beautiful home. So a big round of applause for Rama and Minnie, and Minnie's parents also for joining us today. So, and thank you to all of you also to be part of this very special occasion today. Absolutely delighted to have you here. And, you know, Parmeet, my buddy, where is Parmeet? Parmeet is right there. Parmeet, I was sitting over there. Parmeet comes over and he tells me, yaar, kitna paisa khilaya hai loko, what are they talking about you? He couldn't believe his ears, you know. It's like, I didn't pay them, dude. But truly, I don't deserve, you know, what, everything, all the accolades that are being said. I really don't know. But what I've really tried to do is follow on the footsteps of Susie. You know, I mean, it's a vacuum that our community feels. And after her passing, it has actually emboldened in me to go out there and engage in the community and try to do what Susie might have wanted. So with many of the things that we tried to do, with Susie, I wanted to do that, right? And she was a phenomenal leader, a great candidate that we all put our heart and soul, our energy to get her to win. We were delighted to see her win, but unfortunately it was a very short stint. But now we all got to make up for it. So we are all gonna team up on this effort to build community in Saratoga, the community unification effort, the vibrancy that we all talk about. So that's my word here, and we'll make sure that it happens. But when I look at when we first came here in 2001 into Saratoga, you know, I realized that one of my neighbors was, watch out, watch out, watch out. Yep, it's a little windy day. Thank you. Thank you, Raghu. And so when we first moved here in 2001, I realized that one of my neighbors did not know the neighbor next door. And I said, that's not a good thing. And actually one of them thought that the other guy was working for a CIA and said, I'm gonna stay away from him. And I said, no, that's not acceptable. And what I did was I started the Yahoo group in our community. So Saratoga was a very small town. I'm from the big city, Mumbai. And I felt that, hey, I could come in here in a small town like this and create a little bit of an impact. And that I still feel very much true, because Saratoga is a very accepting community. You know, they invite us into their fold and we can make things happen here. And that's truly what I've been trying to do. So back in 2001, that's what happened. And one of the very first postings I remember was, can we put up a light in our neighborhood? You know, a street light, right? Yeah. A street light, yes. Who likes street lights? Come on, let's hear it. Street lights, right? But, you know, it took me some time to understand, you know, why Saratoga is special like it is, because, you know, it's a very special ambiance. You know, we were, fast forward a couple of years, I was literally shot down for that, for even proposing that, right? And I didn't know why. I had no clue. Because coming from the big city, I'm used to have skyscrapers and this and that. You know, it's like I have that attitude when I came into Saratoga. It's a very sleepy town. What can I do to wake it up a little bit? Just a little bit, right? And as it turns out, a couple of years later, my wife Seema and I, we stepped out after a party in Mount Eden. And it was pitch dark. It was really pitch dark. And I looked up in the sky, and it was absolutely, you could see all the stars, sparkling bright. And it was very elegant on a warm summer evening. We don't have many of those. But when I recall that moment, I realized, man, Saratoga is special. That's the reason why we don't have lights. That's the reason why, because we can look up at the stars, we can sit in the backyard and really enjoy very, very country type setting is what we have here. And that's what makes Saratoga special. And it's all the people that have contributed to make Saratoga so special. Because when I look back at our seniors, you know, I spent some time at it is the Saratoga Foothill Club on Thursday evening. So I was hanging out with the Foothill Club members, and I noticed a lot of passion, a lot of energy. And it is these seniors who have contributed and made Saratoga what it is today. I'll give you an example, the large lots that we have, right? They are much larger in comparison to Palo Alto, Cupertino, and that's really what made Saratoga what it is today, right? Because it's really increased the value of our properties. And when we compare ourselves to the next door neighbors, you know, our properties are skyrocketing. It is because of smart choices that we have made. And when I get on the city council, I will still continue to make those smart choices. I would like to innovate. And I'm a geek. I never ever deny that. You know, with my engineering heritage, I don't deny that ever. But as a geek, I would like to innovate and bring certain new ideas, new things to make it easier for our city. But at the same time, I've become a preservationist. I would like to preserve what we have today. Innovate. Change is inevitable. Nobody can deny change, right? You can want to remain as it is, but change comes and grabs you, right? It's impossible to deny that. But at the same time, change has to be well thought out. We have to think through things just like our forefathers did in Saratoga with these big lots, with these no street light policy for the large part. When we moved in here, I saw the very first light go on to Cox. That was in 2001. And what I've realized is these seniors, they have done a lot of good things for our community. They have brought a lot of great value, and they all volunteer. I was at the Foothill Club, and the seniors were running around crazy, volunteering, doing this, doing that. I'm like, look at the energy. Something in the water, something in the Saratoga water where we all end up becoming volunteers. So I remember in 2002 was, maybe 2003 was when our son got into Argonaut Elementary School, and I got into the Argonaut Technology Committee to see what I could do to bring some of my ideas, some of my engineering ideas back into the school community. I volunteered for Matt Dawson, for American Math Count, for eventually with Saratoga Lego Robotics. So I became a volunteer. And what I realized that it's very energizing for me to go out and volunteer. It was opening up lots of new doors, and not in my personality, it really transformed me. That's really what I'm talking about. It's the transformation. It completely transformed me into going out there and doing other things, other things for the community, and it has been a remarkable experience for me. Fast forward a few years, what we did in our neighborhood was, there was a break-in, and we said, let's do a neighborhood safety watch. So I was out there distributing flyers. I walked door to door, giving flyers, and I realized that the Yahoo group is important for us to have. That's when the Yahoo group started. We started communicating to our neighbors. This is what is going on. There's a break-in. There's a car lurking around. Let's stay on the alert. We enrolled 11 different block captains. We had a meeting in the library. We got the sheriff's office. So it was work in progress. But, I sort of